Hey y'all, what's going on? Finally in here to do the True Blood finale. Y'all, this finale was something else. Now, I will say this in the beginning, it was like, uh, okay, let's pick this up a little bit. I was kind of like, okay, this is the finale. I'm already pissed off and I feel like you done shorted me some damn, some scenes or something, or some episodes or something. Okay, let's see. Where do I want to start? Okay, let's just start where we ended up with Lala. And y'all, poor Lala. We're going to get into it. Okay, so we all know that Nornie had took over Lala's body. And for those who don't know, and my new subscribers or whatever, welcome. And let me say that, welcome. Every time I say welcome, I got to laugh because I think about the SB Nation. Welcome. I do. That is the funniest shit to me. Okay, so basically Lafayette, and I'll say Lafayette, I say Lafayette was, taken over by Nornie. So we know the bitch is a ghost because, Bill and them split her motherfucking wig and got her ass together. So Lala sloshing around and sitting in the back, well, then sloshed around in his kimono or her kimono or whatever the fuck he's calling himself today. Sitting in the back, and Jesus, which I feel bad saying that. Y'all know why if y'all seen it, but okay, let's get to this. So Jesus is like, I'm sorry, maybe the magic thing is not for us. And he's talking or whatever. He says he cooks something. Nornie, like, it's like putting her, fork through the shit. And but it's like Lafayette's doing it to him. He don't know yet. So he goes over and gives Lala a kiss. And that's when he knows that it is not Lafayette, that it is something else. And so Nornie, as Lafayette, stabbed the shit out of his damn hand, which y'all know I did not like Nornie's motherfucking ass from the gate, and I am over this bitch. And I'm so glad to see the hoe go. Anyway, so Jesus gets stabbed and hollers and this and that and another. And the next scene with them is this. This is the next scene. Jesus is all tied up. Jesus. He's all tied up and shit and like, don't do this. Lafayette's in his kimono slash gi, whatever the fuck he got on, and just walking around and like nobody was my friend. And I, going through this whole motherfucking everybody picked on me all my life bullshit. So she decides that she wants what Jesus has in him, and which y'all know his magic is he's a demon. Well, that's his magic. I don't know how the fuck that's his magic. I don't know where they came up with this demon, Ding Morello's type of shit at. Anyway, so she's like, maybe if I get your blood, whatever the case may be, then, I'll have the power and I can get my revenge on these motherfucking vampires. Vampires. So Jesus is like, it don't work like that. And all of a sudden, somewhere in between there, y'all know I'm only going to talk about what's pertinent to me, which it was really kind of all pertinent, but So Lafayette tries to come out like, this bitch is strong, so-and-so, this bitch is crazy or whatever. And it's Lafayette for a minute. And then it switched over to her. And then this bitch had a motherfucking knife like, dude, say one more. Try to do it one more motherfucking dab. I will cut this motherfucker. And it's so fucked up because it's Lafayette with the knife to his own damn eye. It was so fucked. I was like, okay, bitch. Okay, bitch. So Jesus like, okay. But then he tries to talk out of it again, and then this bitch, something happens, and this bitch cuts Lafayette because this bitch ain't gonna feel it. Lafayette sitting inside there, his actual spirit or whatever sitting inside there, just, like he feels the pain. So he finally, after he cuts himself, whatever, whoever it is, knowing it cuts Lafayette and Lafayette's body, whatever. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So he starts doing this chanting shit, and y'all know what happens when he gets ready to turn into this motherfucking demon. He does the whole shit and spits coming out and shit, and y'all know that's why I was like, ooh, cut. Time for a fucking commercial. Commercial! I mean, spit just, I don't know. Okay, so here comes the damn shit. The shit comes out, and this bitch, y'all, this bitch done stabbed Jesus. She gets after she stabs Jesus, she takes the blood, licks it, and next thing you know, now Lafayette and her is the demon. Which brings me to this. Now we're gonna get off of that and we're gonna go into let's go into the scene just for me. Y'all thought there was something up there. Let's go into the scene where Sam Merlot and your girl, what is her name? The mama, Hart's mama, was at the little funeral thing saying their goodbyes, and she's like, everybody needs some love, some real fucked up random ass shit. Like, you know, he stole some stuff of mine and shoes and my clothes and even some of my you know, drawers. Basically, she didn't say drawers, but I'm saying drawers. And so Sam's like, he knows the real truth of why he did it, because he shapeshifted this and that and other into him, his own, you know, his brother or whatever. So, no, into her. So that's why he had the drawers and the clothes and shit, because he was her. Okay, so they there, and, you know, it was kind of like a touchy moment or whatever. And she's like, everybody needs love, and maybe you didn't learn how, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we have that endearing scene. Now, let's go to what I want to go to, because I don't want to jump to the climax of the shit already. Okay, so now let's go to, okay, so we know Narnie didn't take it over. Now let's go to Tara and Sookie. Okay, and I got to get into Sookie's suckatry, because y'all know Sookie's up to some suckatry. So Tara is like, Sookie's like, she's feeling some kind of way. She's in the kitchen or whatever, and she sees Graham, which we know Graham been dead since what was the first or second season or whatever. She's laid up on the floor. Come to find out that this whole holiday thing or whatever they're doing is supposed to be Halloween, and the witches believe that's when the veil is lowered, when it's, you know what I'm saying, between the living and the dead and this and that and other. So folks is hearing spirits and seeing spirits and shit, and just spirits is just out just frolicking. Okay, so, you know, she snaps out of it. Sookie sees that, she kind of snaps out of it or whatever the case may be, you know, and she's kind of like, I know that wasn't Graham, but I'm happy to see Graham, and maybe Graham can help me with something. Okay, now that brings me to this part right here, and let me just go to Tara, because Tara is trying to pull herself together from the shit that just went on with Nornie, and she's like, I'm glad this shit is over. To Sookie, I'm glad this is over, and maybe we can go on, but they both feeling some kind of way, but I don't think at that point they really, you know, telling each other fully, you know what I'm saying, how they, you know what I'm saying, they both feeling some kind of way about this. Okay, so Tara somehow, and we're just going to hop over to this, she frolics over to Jesus. He's in there, laid in a chair like, you know, just dead. And she screams and shit. Okay, I don't know how this bitch come up with, because she did not see Nornie and Lala and all of this, that Nornie took over Lala's body or whatever the case may be. I don't know how this bitch came up with it. Now, this brings her back to Sookie. So, while Sookie's outside, well, let me say this. She goes to Sam Merlot, asks for her job. He gives her the job back and tells her she got to put these little bunny ears on or whatever. And of course, he was going to accept her back. And now that we're talking about her sookatry and how I'm ready to cut her ass, because I thought you and Joe was going to have something going on, Sookie. Don't make me cut your ass. So Joe's in there, and I got to talk about him for a spell, because he, of course, you know, he's coming out for killing the wolf and shit, and catching Debbie, fucking another wolf or whatever the fuck she was doing in her wolfertry. So he's like, you know, he's like, I don't want to be with her. I know, you know what I'm saying, what I need to do. And he's basically leading up to the fact that he wants to try it out with Sookie. Now, bitch, now, y'all, let's pause for a minute, because Sookie done screwed every motherfucking body. The only one she ain't screwed is Lafayette. And like I said in the other video, this bitch, I don't know if they wasn't bumping pocketbooks. So this is where I draw the line. But she was kind of like, you just upset, you'll go back to Debbie. And he's like, no, I'm not. You know, I like he wants Sookie or whatever. And I'm like, all right, Joe, keep fucking with me. Anyway, so they have a little conversation or whatever. Now let's go to this part. So Sookie goes outside or whatever, and here comes the fairy, which we know, well, which is really not a fairy. The bitch is just dressed up as a fairy. And I know those who don't follow True Blood is probably thinking, what is this bitch talking about? Look it up online, get the shows, watch it, go back all the way back to season 1 and follow this shit through so we can catch up when this new season comes next year or whatever. Okay, so she's talking to the other waitress, which is dressed like a fairy, and she's like, oh, I feel this way or whatever. And Sookie's been like, I feel like something's there or whatever. She's feeling some kind of way. This bitch pulls the damn joint out of her titties and is like, you got a light, and just, goes to hitting her shit because she's like, I feel uneasy and shit on this day. Then she's explaining the shit about the veil and the spirits and this and that and other. So she's puffing and shit, talking to Sookie, and, up pulls Tara, and she's like, Nornie is back and done took over Lafayette's shit. And now the shit gets real, y'all. This is when the shit get real. So they go and they know exactly where to ride to. No doubt about it. But before I go all the way into that, let me pause for a minute because we do need to go to Jason and his Jason Ray. And how he told Hoyt that he was fucking Jessica, which y'all know I'm fucking over Jessica. I'm sick of this bitch, and I'm even more sick of her once it went on and I see the shit that the bitch pulled. So, what's up? So basically, what's I going to Jessica? Jason said, oh, I slept with Jessica, talking to Hoyt. And Hoyt, y'all know, they go way back. They was practically embryos in the same fucking womb. Okay. So he's like, I did sleep with Jessica. Hoyt falls in on his ass, hits him a couple of times. Jason takes the licks or whatever. Which, Jason, you was wrong for what you did. You was bankrupt for that, and you let your damn, your weed whacker lead your shit. Okay. So after that, now let's get off of that. Now let's go back to Sookie and Tara and them. They in the car and shit. They got the motherfucking witch in the back, and she's pulling out salt and shit out of her bag like this is her witch survival kit. This bitch is pulling shit out. She got her bag and shit. Let me get my salt, house and pfeffer, liver lips. This bitch is pulling all kinds of shit out. I'm like, oh, this bitch going to do an exorcism. They like, you ever did this before? And she's like, well, it works for my kids, praying that they stay out of jail and be okay. Because prayer works. Has nothing to do with witchcraftry. And seen on that. So they pull up. Lafayette's there in a damn kufi. I don't know what the fuck Lafayette got on. And y'all know I'm over his hair and the whole outfit. This whole season, Lafayette look a fucking fool. Okay. So she, they get out, and there's Eric and Bill. They in flames and shit. Well, getting ready to be in flames because we ain't got to the flaming part yet. Your girl is like, Lafayette's there, and they like, Lafayette, don't do this. Your girl, Tara, was like, don't do this, Lafayette, or whatever. And this and that and other. And Naughty's like, I'm doing this, blah, 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 blah. So she likes to fucking fire. She gets ready. Yeah, she likes to fire. Sookie tries to go over there to help Bill and Eric. And the flames go up higher, or whatever the case may be. And Sookie just said, fuck this. All of a sudden, this bitch learns how to use her fucking fairy power and all of that. And she's like, poof, and threw Lafayette back. And I'm like, okay, pause for a minute on her Sookie dress. Sookie, bitch. Now, you knew how to use these damn powers, bitch. You could have did this a long time ago. Maybe they wouldn't be on fire. You could have handled this hole when you was trapped in the motherfucking shit 2 episodes back. Really, bitch? Anyway, so Lafayette gets pushed back. Now, the reason why, he gets pushed back, falls back for a minute or whatever. Now, the bitch with the house and pfeffer and the salt and shit, the witchery bitch. She's like shaking salt and doing it. She's talking, but Nornie's not seeing this. So she builds up a circle and says, Tyra, hold my hand, and tells Sookie to hold my hand, and they start chanting some shit. Lo and motherfucking behold, every fucking ghost in Bon Ton came out the motherfucking graveyard, including Grams, y'all. That's when I was done. I said, is that Grams? And bitch, you look good to be that just came up from the dirt and shit. Girl, you been gone for... The bitch look good still. Anyway, needless to say, they chant to them, get the help or whatever. Meanwhile, Nornie and Lafayette's body then took in this demon. And so here come the whole demon head face shit. But he can't get in the circle because they chanting and shit. Knocks Nornie back or whatever. This bitch comes up out of, you know, Lafayette's body or whatever, and she just her ghostly ass self. Here comes old girl who was in on it. Y'all screen cut off. I'm gonna come back in and finish this up.